Ladies and gentlemen, there's a beautiful truth that often gets overlooking. Stage brings. The golden years are not the end of the road. They're the open door to everything you never had time to explore. While society may try to define aging as a period of slowing down, the reality is far more empowering. This is your time to reinvent, rediscover, and reignite your passions. Picking up new hobbies at this stage of life isn't just about keeping busy. It's about keeping your spirit alive, your mind sharp, and your heart joyful. This is not a time to retire from life. It's a time to master what you've always wanted to try. Before we begin, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any video. Number 1. Mental stimulation keeps you young. Mental stimulation is one of the most powerful tools we have to keep our minds sharp, vibrant, and youthful as we age. While physical aging is inevitable, the brain has a remarkable capacity to adapt, grow, and rewire itself throughout life, a concept known as neuroplasticity. This means that even in our golden years, the brain can form new neural connections and strengthen existing ones, especially when we challenge it with new learning experiences. Engaging in mentally stimulating hobbies isn't just a pleasant pastime. It's a vital practice that can help preserve memory, enhance focus, and even protect against cognitive decline. When you learn something new, whether it's a language, an instrument, a board game, or a creative skill like painting or writing, you activate various parts of the brain. This activation encourages the development of new pathways that keep your cognitive faculties agile. It's like exercise for your brain. Just as a body that is regularly challenged with physical activity remains strong and flexible, a brain that is consistently engaged in learning stays more resilient and responsive. These mental exercises improve problem-solving abilities, enhance creativity, and sharpen critical thinking. You're not only training your mind to read new information, but also strengthening your ability to adapt, focus, and process ideas. One of the myths about aging is that it inevitably leads to forgetfulness or mental decline. While some changes in memory and processing speed are normal, many of the more serious declines associated with age can be slowed, or even prevented, by staying mentally active. Studies have shown that older adults who regularly engage in intellectually stimulating activities have a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. And mental stimulation increases the brain's reserve capacity, which acts as a buffer against the damage that aging or disease may cause. But the benefits go far beyond just protecting memory. Staying mentally engaged also improves mood and emotional well-being. When you're immersed in learning something new, it gives you a sense of purpose and accomplishment. You feel more in control of your life and more connected to the world around you. It boosts your confidence and gives you something to look forward to every day. For many people, retirement or the empty nest phase can lead to a loss of direction or identity. Embracing new hobbies fills that gap with curiosity, creativity, and discovery. Consider how it feels to master a new skill or grasp a new concept. It's energizing. It sparks motivation and excitement, qualities often associated with youth. When you challenge yourself to go beyond your comfort zone, you're reminded that you're capable, adaptable, and full of untapped potential. This shift in mindset can actually influence how you feel physically. A mentally stimulated person often feels more alive, more driven, and more youthful, regardless of age. Furthermore, mental stimulation fosters social interaction when it involves group learning or shared interests. Taking a class, joining a book club, or participating in online forums around your hobby introduces you to like-minded people. These interactions not only enrich your learning experience, but also provide emotional support and companionship. This social connection further stimulates the brain and reduces the risk of loneliness and depression, which can have damaging effects on both mental and physical health. Ultimately, keeping your mind active is a gift you give yourself every day. It's a statement that says, "I'm not done growing." It's a powerful reminder that aging doesn't mean decline. It means evolution. You're not limited by your birth year. You're empowered by your mindset. Every puzzle solved, every skill learned, every idea explored is a step toward a sharper, stronger, more joyful mind. So go ahead, challenge your brain, feed your curiosity, and stay forever young in spirit. Number 2. Physical hobbies strengthen the body and soul. Physical hobbies do far more than just keep the body moving. They nourish the soul, awaken the senses, and create a rhythm of vitality that can transform your golden years into a time of deep wellness and inner peace. As we age, it's easy to fall into the mindset that physical activity is no longer as important or that it's too late to start something new. But the truth is quite the opposite. The human body, even its later stages, craves movement. It responds to care, attention, and engagement, and physical hobbies offer a joyful and meaningful way to fulfill that need. Engaging in a physical hobby, whether it's gardening, dancing, swimming, tai chi, or walking through nature, activates the body in gentle yet effective ways. Muscles are used, joints are mobilized, balance is improved, and energy is elevated. Each movement becomes a message to the body: you are still capable, you are still strong, you are still alive. The benefits of physical activity for older adults are well documented. It increases cardiovascular health, reduces the risk of chronic illness, supports weight management, and improves mobility and flexibility. But what often gets overlooked is the emotional and spiritual reward that comes with it. When you immerse yourself in a physical hobby, you're not just working out. You're engaging in something that connects you to the present moment. These hobbies become a form of moving meditation. Whether you're pulling weeds from a garden bed, swaying to music in a dance class, or casting a fishing line into calm waters, you're giving your mind a rest from worry and allowing it to be rooted in what's happening right now. This mindfulness aspect is incredibly healing. It soothes anxiety, reduces stress, and fosters a sense of calm that is vital in this stage of life. There is also a profound sense of joy and satisfaction that arises from using the body with purpose. After decades of working, caregiving, or fulfilling responsibilities, there's freedom in doing something just for yourself. To move not because you have to, but because you want to. To feel the sun on your skin during a morning walk, or the beat of music pulsing through your limbs during a light dance session. These moments become small celebrations of life. They remind you that even in a world that often associates aging with limitation, you still have agency, passion, and vitality. What's more, physical hobbies often come with a sense of progress. You may start slowly, perhaps with some hesitation, but as you build strength, coordination, and endurance, you feel pride. That progress, no matter how gradual, renews your confidence. It reinforces the idea that you're not stagnant. You're still growing, still evolving. That realization uplifts the soul, fuels motivation, and empowers you to take on even more. Many physical hobbies also offer opportunities for connection. Joining a walking group, participating in a yoga class, or engaging in community gardening brings you in contact with others who share your interests. These social connections, formed through shared physical activity, are not just enjoyable. They're essential. They create a support system, reduce isolation, and add meaning to your daily routine. Experience. There's nothing quite like moving in sync with others to remind you that you're part of something bigger, that your energy contributes to a greater rhythm of community and connection. Ultimately, physical hobbies are a gift to both body and soul. They help maintain your health, yes, but they also deepen your experience of being alive. They allow you to reclaim the body as a source of strength and the soul as a vessel of joy. They offer a beautiful, intentional way to care for yourself, to move, to breathe, to feel, and to continue thriving with every step, stretch, and sway. This isn't about returning to your youth. It's about honoring the body you have and giving it every reason to keep dancing through life. Number 3. Emotional well-being, joyful engagement. Emotional well-being is the quiet foundation of a fulfilling life, especially in your golden years. It's what brings color to your days, steadiness to your thoughts, and peace to your heart. While many factors contribute to emotional health, relationships, mindset, physical vitality, one of the most underestimated yet powerful is joyful engagement through hobbies. These aren't just simple pastimes. They are essential tools for emotional balance, resilience, and inner joy. Engaging in hobbies you love introduces a kind of emotional therapy that feels natural, effortless, and deeply rewarding. When you immerse yourself in something that sparks your interest, whether it's painting, playing an instrument, gardening, writing, or even learning a new skill, you enter a mental state that psychologists call flow. In that state, the mind becomes fully absorbed in the moment. Worries about the past or future fade into the background, and you're left with a calming, focused presence. This flow is more than just enjoyment. It's healing. It reduces stress hormones, lowers blood pressure, and improves mood in a sustainable way. As people transition into retirement or face changes like children moving away or the loss of longtime roles, emotional well-being can be tested. There may be feelings of emptiness, lack of purpose, or even grief. But joyful engagement fills that emotional space with meaning and self-expression. When you create something, nurture something, or explore something new, you're validating your own inner world. You're telling yourself, I still matter. My time is still valuable. My joy still counts. One of the most powerful aspects of hobby-based engagement is its ability to offer emotional release. You might express thoughts and feelings through brushstrokes on a canvas, through words in a journal, or through the gentle movement of knitting. These are not just creative acts. They are emotional outlets. They allow you to process your experiences, to feel seen and heard, even if it's only by yourself. This kind of private reflection is deeply therapeutic and often more effective than words alone. It allows healing to unfold naturally and without pressure. Joyful engagement also fosters a sense of achievement, and that can have a profound effect on emotional well-being. When you finish a puzzle, complete a craft, learn a new tune on an instrument, or grow a healthy plant, there's a burst of satisfaction. These wins, however small, accumulate, and each one builds confidence. It reinforces a sense of capability that may otherwise feel diminished by age or changing physical limits. This inner sense of, I can still do this, nurtures pride, gratitude, and hope. Moreover, hobbies often serve as a bridge between isolation and connection. Even solitary hobbies can bring you closer to others. Through clubs, online communities, group classes, or shared interests with family members. These social interactions are vital to emotional health. They provide belonging, affirmation, and support. They remind you that you're not alone in your passions, your journey, or your challenges. You become part of something bigger, and that belonging soothes the soul in a way few other things can. Most importantly, joyful engagement invites playfulness back into life. So often, adulthood, and especially later adulthood, becomes focused on responsibility, routines, and what's practical. But play, wonder, and curiosity are not just for the young. In fact, they are emotional lifelines. Trying something just because it looks fun, just because it brings a smile to your face, that is the essence of emotional freedom. That is joy. So don't underestimate the power of doing what you love simply because it makes you feel alive. Emotional well-being doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, it's as simple as making time for the things that light you up from the inside. In those moments of joyful engagement, you're not just passing time. You're nurturing your spirit, honoring your journey, and reclaiming your right to feel whole, vibrant, and emotionally fulfilled. Number 4. New hobbies open doors to connection. Human connection is one of the most vital aspects of a fulfilling life, and as we grow older, and that need doesn't diminish, it deepens. In fact, meaningful connection becomes even more essential in later years when social circles may shrink due to retirement, relocation, or the loss of loved ones. One of the most enriching ways to rebuild or expand those connections is through new hobbies. These fresh interests serve not only as personal nourishment, but also as powerful social bridges that bring people together in natural, joyful ways. When you start a new hobby, you instantly step into a world of shared curiosity. Whether it's painting, learning to play an instrument, bird watching, photography, or joining a book club, these activities naturally attract others who share similar passions. And that common ground makes it easier to spark conversations, build trust, and form friendships. Unlike forced or formal interactions, hobby-based connections happen organically. You talk about the craft, share tips, celebrate progress, and offer encouragement. Bonds are built through shared experience rather than small talk. This is especially powerful for individuals who may feel isolated or disconnected. Many older adults report feeling lonelier after leaving the workforce or after children grow up and move away. But hobbies open new avenues for interaction that are both meaningful and energizing. Joining a local class group or online community centered around your hobby creates a sense of belonging. Suddenly, you have something to look forward to. A weekly meetup, a creative collaboration, or even an online forum where your contributions are seen and valued. These new connections can reignite a social spark that may have dimmed with time. And what's beautiful is that these relationships are often built on joy, not obligation. They're fueled by mutual interest and a shared love for learning and creating. These kinds of friendships tend to be more uplifting and positive because they grow in environments designed for encouragement and growth, not stress or competition. Moreover, hobbies give you something to share. Whether it's a piece of art, a new recipe, a garden harvest, or a performance you've been practicing, these creations become conversation starters and gifts of connection. They offer you a way to express yourself to others and to be recognized for more than your age or your past. They let you be seen as someone curious, creative, and full of life. Even more, engaging in hobbies with others helps strengthen empathy, collaboration, and communication. Whether you're solving a puzzle, learning a dance, or contributing to a community project, you're practicing teamwork in a low-pressure, enjoyable setting. This boosts your confidence and reminds you that connection isn't just possible. It's within reach, at any age. New hobbies don't just fill time. They fill your life with people, purpose, and joy. They remind you that it's never too late to form new bonds and that the heart, just like the mind and body, continues to thrive when it's engaged, appreciated, and surrounded by connection. Number 5. Reinventing your identity with confidence. As we journey through life, our identity is often shaped by roles we take on. Parent, partner, employee, caregiver, provider. These roles give structure to our days and purpose to our actions. But what happens when those roles begin to shift or fall away in our later years? Retirement, children, leaving home, or changes in health and lifestyle can leave a person feeling uncertain about who they are. Yet, this stage of life offers a powerful opportunity, a chance to reinvent your identity with confidence and intention. And one of the most fulfilling ways to do that is by embracing new hobbies. When you take up a new hobby, you're not just learning a skill. You're exploring a part of yourself that may have been buried under years of responsibility. Maybe you always wanted to learn to paint, to write poetry, to build furniture, or to play an instrument. For decades, these desires may have been set aside in favor of work or family needs. But now, with time and wisdom on your side, you can return to those quiet passions and allow them to reshape your sense of self. This reinvention is not about becoming someone completely different. It's about reconnecting with the parts of you that were waiting patiently for attention. Every time you try something new, you're showing yourself that growth doesn't end. It continues. You're proving that you are not defined by age, or labels, or what society expects of someone in their later years. You are defined by your choices, your curiosity, and your courage to evolve. There's a special kind of confidence that from choosing to be a beginner again. Many people fear starting something new because it feels unfamiliar or awkward at first. But pushing through that discomfort brings a pride, one rooted in resilience. You realize that you still have the ability to learn, adapt, and improve. That builds not just skill, but self-esteem. And with each small success, whether it's finishing a painting, mastering a new recipe, or planting your first vegetable garden, your confidence grows. Reinventing your identity through hobbies also gives you a new way to introduce yourself to the world. Instead of saying, "I used to beg," you start saying, "Now I am." And that shift is powerful. You become someone who creates, someone who participates, someone who thrives, not despite aging, but because you're embracing it with enthusiasm. This process of reinvention is also incredibly liberating. When you're no longer tied to old roles or expectations, you're free to define your life on your own terms. You can follow your joy without asking for permission. You can express yourself freely, discover hidden talents, and build a version of yourself that feels more authentic than ever before. In the end, reinventing your identity with confidence isn't about escaping the past. It's about honoring where you've been while fully stepping into who you are now. It's about knowing that your story is still being written, and that you have the power to shape it into something vibrant, meaningful, and uniquely your own. Number 6, a legacy of passion and inspiration. As we grow older, our thoughts often turn toward the legacy we'll leave behind, not just in material possessions, but in the memories, values, and impressions we pass on to those who follow us. A truly powerful legacy isn't built through wealth or titles, but through how we lived, what we loved, and how we inspired others along the way. Embracing new hobbies and passions in your golden years becomes more than just a personal journey. It becomes a lasting example of courage, creativity, and lifelong growth that others will remember and be moved by. When you engage in something you love, whether it's painting, gardening, music, crafting, storytelling, or any other hobby, you're showing the world that it's never too late to start, to grow, to find joy. That alone is a legacy. Younger generations often assume that aging means slowing down or giving up on personal dreams. But when they see you learning new things, dedicating time to something that excites you, and thriving in the process, it rewrites that narrative. It tells them, you can continue becoming, no matter your age. These passions create stories. A grandchild may remember the smell of your baking, the sound of your piano, the flowers in your garden, stage brings, or the paintings on your wall. They won't just remember what you did. They'll remember how you lit up while doing it. Your hobbies become symbols of who you were at your most authentic. They reveal your curiosity, your commitment, your ability to embrace change. That's what truly inspires, seeing someone live fully, even when society expects them to slow down. Moreover, your dedication to a hobby can ignite similar sparks in others. Maybe a neighbor sees your handcrafted woodwork and decides to pick up the tools again. Maybe a friend joins your walking group and rediscovers the joy of movement. Maybe a family member witnesses your late-life pursuit of writing and finally finds the courage to publish their own stories. Your passion becomes permission for others to dream, explore, and embrace their own journeys. There's also a deeper spiritual legacy at work. When you make time for what you love, you send a quiet but powerful message about values. That fulfillment matters, that joy is worth pursuing, and that self-expression is timeless. These are life lessons no lecture could ever deliver. They are absorbed through example, through watching someone live with purpose and delight in the little things. In the end, hobbies are not just what fill your time. They are what fill your life with meaning. They are part of your story, part of your imprint on the world. When you leave behind the results of your creativity, a quilt, a garden, a journal, a song, you also leave behind the energy that created it, the love, the patience, the passion. And that spirit lives on, echoing through the hearts of everyone who saw you embrace life with open arms, reminding them to do the same. That is the legacy of passion. That is the legacy of inspiration. So, what are you waiting for? The canvas is blank, the pages unwritten, the melody still unsung. Your golden years are not about stepping back. They're about stepping forward into new experiences with the confidence of someone who knows that life is still full of wonder. Mastering a new hobby is not just about skill. It's about spirit. It's about proving to yourself and the world that your best, most creative, and most joyful days can still lie ahead. This chapter is yours to write. So make it rich, bold, and unforgettable.